Welcome to the Big Blue Radio Show, coming to you on Tulsa Community College's online radio station, The Grid, and on the Creativity Channel. I'm Greg Stone, Provost of TCC's Metro Campus in downtown Tulsa.
And I'm Lee Goodson, President of Tulsa Community College. Professor Patty Smith has taught undergraduate research courses in conservation biology and plant conservation at TCC's West Campus, from where she recently embarked on a sabbatical to continue her own research. And she's here today to tell us all about it.
Stay tuned for our discussion with Professor Patty Smith here on the Big Blue Radio Show.
We're excited to be here today with Patty Smith, Assistant Professor at West Campus of Biology, and we know that you just recently went on sabbatical, right? And
Correct.
So you're back, and can you talk to us about when you go on sabbatical? It's for a faculty member, it's sort of a time of renewal, and you decide how to kind of dig in and just kind of renew your interests and maybe go down a path with something. Can you talk to us about your sabbatical, how you decided to go on it, and your project?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm really interested in high-impact education practices, research, community service, global experiences. And so I wanted to expand on that, where hopefully our students can eventually take a course in New Mexico where they could get those experiences. And so it's focused on the area of what's called the Enchanted Circle region, which is near Taos, New Mexico.
Tell us about that region. What's it like for someone who hasn't been there?
Oh, it's fascinating. It's absolutely beautiful. So if you're coming in through the east, you go through grasslands, and then you get into desert grasslands and eventually into the Black Mesa region and the Rocky Mountains, and that's where the highest peak in New Mexico is, 13,000 feet in that area. That's what the Enchanted Circle goes around. It's a scenic byway.
Were you there with another group of students when you went?
No, ma'am. It was just myself and my dog,
you?
Wiley.
Oh, wow. How long were you there?
5 months.
Wow.
I came home about a few days, maybe 1 week out of a month, just to say hi to the pets,
see everybody,
and to
yeah.
family. So,
and describe for us a little bit about what research you were doing there in that part of New Mexico.
So primarily curriculum development, so developing high-impact education practices, establishing partnerships with U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, with some of the Native American tribes, visiting a lot of museums. So there's a lot to do there, a whole lot. And they have sustainability practices, so it's...
So really developing partnerships and figuring out how you can use those partnerships to embed them in your curriculum in the classroom.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
That's very exciting.
Yes, and hopefully, also develop internships for our students. So,
Patty, you've been really a champion for undergraduate research here at Tulsa Community College, and how do you approach students who maybe are intimidated by the idea of research, or students especially at community college who may think, well, research is something for graduate students or it's something for an upper level course? How do you engage our students and help them realize that even at the freshman, sophomore level, there's a lot of research to do and that they have the opportunity to do that?
Okay, I'm a little tricky about it. I do it in my courses and I don't tell them that's what we're doing until, maybe the second week of classes. So the first lab, we do a research-based lab and they have lots of fun, and then I start kind of incorporating, telling them that we're doing research, and they start to feel a little bit more comfortable.
Because they've already done it.
Yes.
They're already in it, and they didn't even know it.
But sometimes I have students that come to my office and to start, just ask about research, and I try my best to find somebody that, or someone that they can work with that's in their field that they're interested in. So,
why do you think that students are so intimidated about research?
I suspect a lot of it's that they know that they would have to do a lot of reading, writing, develop those skills, and also mathematical and statistical analysis skills, and even communication skills.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think students are intimidated sometimes by those skills, or one of those skills, but many of us are, and communication's never been my greatest attribute, so.
Well, it is a really big deal, though, because typically with research, a lot of times you work on a team.
Exactly.
More often than not, actually. And if it's not someone that's right with you, you're working with someone across the country or in a different part of the state or something like that. So that's interesting that you brought that up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little bit, STEM is a really big deal. We like to use that word all the time. The governor uses that word all the time. And yet, even with all the promotion and the encouragement, we still don't have enough students entering the STEM fields. What is it about STEM? Is it similar to the concerns that students have about research? Talk to us about what would really get students interested in STEM.
Well, I think it is the same concerns where you have to develop certain skills,
Mm-hmm.
and especially mathematical skills, that students really just fall short. Many students do. But I think probably the best way to get students interested is at a young age. So I encourage my students, and I know I do a lot of outreach in K through 12 or with maybe student groups, making sure that they realize that STEM is actually fun. So research is fun. So.
Just to go back to your area of expertise, I know you teach courses at the West Campus in conservation biology and plant conservation. What are some things that maybe the public in general or our students in general, maybe if they've not really taken a biology course yet, or if they've not had a course that emphasizes that conservation, what are some of the major lessons that we all need to remember about that topic?
Conservation biology is essentially looking at primarily endangered and threatened species, but it's actually taken on a whole new focus where we're looking at what we call ecoregions, which are unique areas of fauna and flora, such as our cross timbers that we have here around the Tulsa area. And you want to make sure, or hopefully we want to make sure, that these particular regions stay intact for future generations. With urban sprawl and agriculture, ranching, other practices, a lot of those particular areas get destroyed, but then we can also restore those through some conservation movements.
Important lessons for us all to keep in mind, especially as we work towards sustainability and practices that will just protect those areas like you said.
Patty, you're on the West Campus, and there's a greenhouse there and some gardens there. It's the campus that has the most land of all 4 of our anchor campuses, and it's there on West 41st Street, and it's not in the country, but it's more rural than any of our other campuses. Talk about some of the things that you can do on that campus in your area in terms of maybe experiential learning or things like that that you wouldn't maybe be able to do on some of our other campuses.
Okay. So we have a greenhouse, and I'm actually the one that oversees the greenhouse, but we have a lot of projects going on in there. We have raised native plants that we later transplant into the teaching gardens that are also on campus. Right now we have 27 flats of seedlings, tomatoes, peppers, eggplants that we will distribute to local community gardens for the needy. And then of course we also have a community garden on campus that a lot of student groups such as the Native American
Native American Student Association.
Association.
Yes, NASA,
yes.
and then the Hispanic Student Association both have a garden there, and so they have particular plants that they're growing there.
And there's a pretty strong Native American presence on the West Campus. I know that there's stomp dances there on a regular basis, and
The Red Fork Film Festival.
and the Red Fork Film Festival. So even from a cultural standpoint, in terms of the relationship to the earth, there's a natural presence there on multiple levels.
Yes.
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 Yeah. Good.
Well, we have time just for one last question, and that's the big question where we ask all of our guests to help our students out or anyone who's thinking about coming back to school. If you could give your 18-year-old self some advice before you started to college, what would that advice be?
I would say the main thing is pursue what your passion is. Don't let anyone try to steer you in a direction. Do what you want to do. Don't worry about the amount of money that you're going to make or if it makes your family happy. If I was to do that, I would be a physician right now and I would not be happy.
Wow.
So
That's a great
yes.
reminder to us all.
And I always think that good manners and respect for others, that's going to get you a long, long way in life. So
That's true. Well, that's all the time we have for today, but we do want to thank our guest, Professor Patty Smith, for taking time to be with us.
thank you guys.
And thank you for being here too. Remember, you can find us every week online at The Grid, tulsacc.edu/thegrid, and on the Creativity channel. We'll see you next time.